Hi. So in my last video, I talked kind of about that whole man versus the bear question that went viral and exploded 2 years ago. And today I want to talk a little bit more about it. Just like, why in the heck did 7 out of 8 women vote and say they'd rather be with the bear than the man? Like, what the heck is going on there? And, because I got in so many relationships wrong before I got it right, I think my life experience anyway, I'm not a psychologist or anything, um, has some qualifications, I guess, to discuss it with you a little bit. And um, I think, in my never to be humble opinion, that very often what we do as women is we believe in hope and we believe in potential and we believe in, for lack of a better term, I'm going to call it emotional labor. You know, I swear I could just punch in the nose whoever the psychologist or guru was that originally said relationships are hard. Because if you're in the right one, it's really not that hard. But we have this belief that we have to kind of struggle in these relationships and put up with not so nice stuff. Now, I'm not saying that women can't, have their own issues that make things difficult for men. I'm not going to say that, but I can't come from that perspective because I'm a man. So there are some guys that watch this channel, even though, in my mind, I think of it as a channel for women, but that's okay. That's cool. But how can I respond as a man when I'm not a man? All right. Right. Short hair, but I'm a woman, So anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about this idea that we put up with it. Now, sometimes we do because in some relationships, and I have felt this in the past, we feel like we can't do any better. That's pretty sad when you think about it. But I know that feeling, I've been there in the past, and, we want the positive things that come with a relationship, even though if they get away with them treating you like caca, they're just going to treat you like more and more caca. I mean, let's face it, people tend to be lazy. It's like water runs downhill to the easiest place. And that's kind of how people can be in relationships, rather than putting their best foot forward. It's like they do that the first few dates and then things kind of slide sometimes, not always, sometimes, right? And so if you're in a situation where you feel like you can't do any better, I'm here to tell you that that's not true. It's only true if you believe that it's true. All right. And then the other thing that I started to mention a minute ago is this idea that we believe in hope and we believe in potential and we think he's going to get his act together and we think he's going to change and become compassionate and kind and affectionate and loving and all these things. And I just got to say, it's like, if those things aren't there, like right off the bat, chances are they're never going to be. Okay. And I don't mean that you don't want him love bombing you right off the bat, right? Saying, oh, I love you and let's get married after 2 weeks of dating. And, I mean, that's kind of love bombing, and it's especially jarring for a woman who thinks, am I even worth all of this, right? But that sense of kindness and a willingness to listen and a willingness to be supportive of your goals and dreams, you don't have to be that far into a relationship to have those things going on, right? And I also mentioned a minute ago, like I could punch in the nose whoever the guru was that said, relationships are hard work. And I think what they were trying to do is get a lot of business for a therapist. And therapy is a wonderful thing. I mean, I went through it many years ago, after a divorce, after it absolutely didn't work. But if you're with the right person, it's like you just kind of flow together. And I got to tell you, I mean, that's what you want to look for. You don't want to look for circumstances where it's like it's hard and it's pressured right from the beginning. I've been in relationship with my husband, Ernie. We met in August. I swear. I mean, I've probably been in a relationship longer than some people watching this have been alive. August 1997. We met 2 weeks before Princess Diana was killed in that car accident, And there was just this ease right from the very start. And there still is. Now, that doesn't mean we never fight, but we rarely fight. And I say that, and you have to know, like yesterday, we had like a knockdown drag out, which very rarely happens. And the reason for that is because we are looking at some really, really big changes, like moving to another city in a different state, and doing some international travel in between. So that means our life and our household, we either get rid of everything, clean sweep, or we put stuff in storage, which, you got to pay for all of that, right? And then move to a different city. So what do you do? It's like he's that Indian, he has almost like a Buddhist monk way about him, like, oh, you're too attached to your stuff. It's like, yes, I am, and that is perfectly fine. It's like, see that big piece of furniture right behind me there? I mean, sometimes depending on where I have my chair set, I'm in a dining room chair right now. It's like you don't see it, but right now you see it. That piece of furniture right there, it's called the High Boy. It's a cherry wood finish, and I bought that as my Christmas gift to myself when I was like 30 or 31 years old. So you look at this hair, I have had that thing for a long time, and I'm almost willing to get rid of it, But there's some things that I'm not willing to get rid of, like the coffee table that has like the little flameless candles on top of it right there. That just came from Amazon. It wasn't a super expensive thing, but I'm not willing to get rid of it, So it's like we're having this back and forth right now, trying to decide, what's going to be and everything this year. But the point is that we always start the day with love. In other words, if I was ticked off at him last night, in the morning, it's a fresh new day. Now, if I have more to say to him about whatever the issue is, in this case, it's like, making these big decisions. I'm going to say it, but I still like start the day with love, and remembering that I love him, because I believe, all right, that love is a decision. It's not like, oh, I'm waiting for this feeling to sweep over me. I mean, once you choose to accept you're falling in love with someone, it's like you choose it again and again and again. It's not like you go, oh, I just don't love you anymore. It's like, no, you choose to be in love, And so anyway, that said, in previous relationships, when it was done, it was done. And I never hesitated to be the one to say, don't let the screen door kick you in the ass on the way out the door. So anyway, but I want you to think, I mean, if you've listened this far to this video, and if you were the person who, whether you like posted it or whatever or not, If you are the person who kind of picked the bear rather than the man, think about like why that is, and a lot of it has to do with all the work that we've put into relationships for like jack shit for nothing, and all the effort, and that emotional, I'm calling it emotional labor again, of like hoping and wishing and this and that, and he still acts like a jerk, and so we act like a jerk back and everything. So anyway, I hope this is helpful to you. I'm Denise, and this is What I Wish I Knew at 30. Please take a moment. I love your comments. I respond to most of them, except the trollers. And take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye-bye.